Welcome to Bridgeburn 412 plays Nioh 2. So we're going to put a little bit of a pause on our previous series, and we're going to start up some Nioh 2, because this is my favorite game of all time. It's up there in the running. There's a lot of favorite games that I have, but Nioh 2 is super awesome. So I'm sure many of you are aware that the new mini-series Shogun has come out, and it puts me in a mood for going back to these Japanese roots here. So let's take a look here at the opening scene. Heavy. So I know we started this series a while back, but it's been a long time, so we're going to start it over. I can't remember where we left off. I think I lost a lot of those recordings. So let's take a new run here at Nioh 2. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Of course, I'm playing in Japanese because otherwise that would be barbaric. So let's see. I have some that I can load. What does this guy look like? Wow, that was not good. What's this guy look like? That's much better. Or do we want to start fresh? Where's randomize? We'll just kind of, yeah, okay, yeah, randomize. Let's just see what random will bring us. I guess we'll know it when we see it. We'll wait till we get kind of a base guy that we can deal with. This is kind of like the guy that I had before. Yeah, kind of like that guy. Let's see. The character creation in here is great. Let's change his eye color. Where is that? Eye appearance? The eye appearance? Matching eyes, preset left. Left iris color. Oh, here we go. They're matching. So let us, I guess we have to go down here to change the color. And they'll match, of course. So what would this look like? Oh, and you got to add it in there. And then we'll go with, I don't know if we want that color. That color is a little bit, let's go with a custom color here. We're not going to spend too much time on trying to get things squared away. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, you've got to, yeah, you gotta select it. And then you gotta select it. Yeah. What was yellow look like? Maybe green. Let's change his hair color. We won't go with gray. Let's go with, oops, that's facial hair. Here we go. Color. E. Kind of a reddish brownish. What's black look like? Oh, black's good. Black, and then let's go to the facial hair to match. Facial hair color. Base color. Was it that or black? We were black, right? Yeah, and then eyebrows. You gotta do eyebrows. What's that face? Where's eyebrows? There we go. That has to be the same color as everything else. I don't care for the eyebrow type. Let's see what we can do here. Here it changes it without you having to kind of see. A little bit heavier? Nah, that's a little bit too heavy. Go back to that one. Kind of washed out, aren't they? They're not very specific. Yikes. Some of these are yikes. We like that one? Some of these, oh my god, some of these. Okay. Do we want to change the eyes? Do we want to change the eyes? They're a little too, are they a little too much? Let's, do we want to change the eye shape? Okay, we'll keep that eye shape, and we'll change the color. Eye appearance. And let's go with striking. What's that red look like? Purple, gray. Gray? Maybe ice cold gray. Okay. And then do we got to put some markings on? We got to have some scars. Some of this stuff is a little bit too crazy. Wow. I got hit in the face. Hit in the face with something. Jeez, that's pretty goth. Let's write a book on our face. Holy mackerel. I don't know. Maybe we don't need a scar. I always put a scar on. Let's just not. Let's just not. And then our voice. Where's the sample? Take 2, 3. Perfect. Yokai form. We're gonna go with Phantom. So I hate this one. So we're gonna change this to. What do we want? I don't know what that one. I don't really like having the beak, but you don't really see any of this when you go into shift form, so it's okay. Let's go with this one. And yeah, we'll save that. Save that. Save. Character creation 3. Perfect. All right, we're going to finalize settings. That's the most tedious part all the time. Oh, how tall is he? I always want to make myself tall. I don't want to be Mr. Shorty. So there's that. Face, hair, facial, body. I want to be a beast. Beast mode. Hey, what are we looking at here? Yeah, that's pretty good. So we will finalize our settings. Yes. Perfect. Oh, I will be. Don't you worry. I will be strong. And you know, I always start with different builds, and I always am thinking, you know, why didn't I do a spear build? So we're going to do a spear build because I want to do a spear build. So that's what we're going to do. And this is my channel, so I get to do what I want. Whatever, I do what I want. I don't even know if we need to pick any of this stuff up. Really, to be honest, this is all the beginning, kind of telling you how to play the game in such. Spear is a good build as well if you are, I think this is a split staff. If you are, like if you're following along, you kind of like this game, you want to give it a try, you can get it for pretty cheap now on Steam, and probably the PlayStation 5 store. That this weapon is pretty forgiving. Well, not forgiving, but it allows you to stay at distance. In fact, one of the things that you'll do is like a lot of games, you're like up close and personal with the enemy. Here, you have to be at a little bit of range to get the head of the spear to do all the stuff that it's supposed to do. Because you want the big old weighted end of the blade there to be doing the work for you. Plus, it gives you a bonus in Constitution, and the spear scales off of Constitution. So yes, we are going to go with that one. And what do I do next? How do I advance here? It's been a while, friends. Then we need our secondary weapon that we will never use, but we want to get a bonus. So we want a bonus in probably... we probably want a bonus in heart, because we need a lot of key in this build, and heart builds key, as you'll see as we play along. I don't know. Sword is so boring though, but it's the only one that gives heart, so I'm going to go ahead and take it and get a plus on heart. So you switch weapons this way. So there's the spear. Foop, 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 foop. If you are an Elden Ring fan or a Dark Souls fan, the combat in Nioh, sometimes people inappropriately compare to Dark Souls. And while there are similarities and things, the combat is so much more dynamic and complex in the Nioh games. So you need to run out and get this game. All right, so now we're going to proceed to Guardian Spirit. And if you're a beginner, I would select maybe the Wolf. The Wolf is more forgiving in terms of when you do your burst counter. The Phantom is a little bit more based on parry timings. I have never really done a feral build. The bird is feral. Even though that would give us another heart to have, I'm going to go with this one because if we start with Phantom, then when we get the best of spirits later in the game, it will be Tengu, and it is a Phantom, so it won't be that big of an adjustment that you'll have to make. So maybe just bite the bullet and get Phantom, but if you're really kind of a beginner in these kind of games, go with the old Wolf here, because I'll miss a lot of my burst counters, but that's okay. We're good. So those are our bonuses. And now it's going to spit us out into the world. Now, this is set in the Sengoku period of Japan, which if you're watching Shogun takes place at the end of the Sengoku period. One of the main characters in this series, or in this game, is the Taiko, the guy who comes before the main character in Shogun, who is, I think, in the series is called Toranaga, but it's based on Ieyasu, who is the last of the three, I guess you could say, powers in this warring period of Japanese history. So this is based on history and folklore, Japanese history and Japanese folklore. So the yokai running around are kind of the folkloric spirits of the netherworld. Demons, for lack of a better term. Okay, so we got a little missive. We got a little letter. We helped that guy not to die. We've got a mother and a father running around somewhere. Confirm this. So there are various missions that you go through. I am offline right now, but I'm going to put myself online. Hi. Why want to go online? I wonder why it's not giving me a network connection. Well, we'll work this episode. Oh, maybe you have to get through the first mission before you can like have an online connection. Okay, so you won't have access if you're just starting. You won't have access to either of these things. You might have access to this, but my son's just telling me now that maybe the internet is going down. He's trying to play the PS5 and it says the connection with the server has been lost. So my internet might be taking a dump right now, but we can still play. You won't have any of this stuff right now. So I'm not going to waste time talking about any of that. You'll have a hut. And you can make the little whatever spirit visit your hut. So we'll put in an aquarium in our hut, I guess, with this little shark thing. I don't know what it is. We're not going to ever view any illustrations. Okay, so here we go. We are going to I'm going to try again here. Oh, there's going online. So we just had a little hiccup in the internets. So we're going to start with our first mission. So we're going to begin our first mission and see what happens with our spear. So here we are in the world. Now the first thing I need to do is, take this off of here, and I put it down here, because that's where I have my Elden Ring heals. They're down there. So I want the same kind of thing. I have an Uchi Katana and I have a spear. So we're going to put the spear up there, and we're going to put the Uchi Katana in weapon 2 spot. Now, there are a bunch, you always want to, of course, collect the shinies. This game has tons of loot in it, where you're just picking up stuff, and some things are not worth it. But these little shrines, these would be like your sites of grace in Elden Ring. And we have enough already to level up because of that stuff that we picked up. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get heart up to 10. Because ki is so important. Ki is like your stamina. So your ki needs to be high. And I'll show you how combat works as we go along. But I think I also have available to me, because I bought this way back when, in the long ago, when it was released, and I got some goodies with the release of that. So I get all these things. And I'm not going to use any of those things because if you're just starting out, you won't have all of those things. So I want to try to make it as authentic as possible because I'd like to just, I want people to try the game because the game is so great. It really is great. And, you know, people need to, like I want people to try it. So I don't want them to think, oh, he's, you know, taking all the good stuff. And all right, so we got some stuff. So it's all about loot. You're always negotiating loot. So I got this and this and this from the DLC stuff. This I just picked up, so I'll put that on. And the same thing works for the other pieces. Like I got all of these pieces from the DLC stuff, like these things as well. Now, I remember where all the Kodamas are, but you want to get something... Oh, God darn it. You want to get something that has... Where is my... there we go. Kodama sensor. So this will point out to you where all the Kodamas are because you want to pick up every Kodama, which is a little tiny spirit that will help you as you make your way through the game. All right, now, you do not have to beat this guy. It is not a requirement. He's pretty solid and beefy. You can just run up over there and then run up over there. But it is probably really a good idea to try to beat this guy and take a good few runs at him. It's like the Crystal Beast, if you've ever played... if you've ever played Dark Souls 3, you know, there's the Crystal Beast. Okay, so that was a burst counter there, and my timing wasn't quite right on that. When you burst counter, burst countering allows you to get a parry, and then you can get some bigger damage. But with I'm slightly early. I know it might not seem like it, but I'm slightly early on these bursts, and I'm moving to the side, so that's why I'm not really getting them. Now, one of the things you're doing, especially with the spear, but with all weapons, a necessary skill is being able to do what's called a key pulse. So if you see those white dots around me, so if I hit it, you hit those white dots, you hit the R1 button when those white dots come to you, and it helps refill your key faster. And so you just have to be patient with this guy. You learn his moves. Oh, that one's the worst. Oh, this could be a close one here. more exciting than it needed to be, but I haven't played this game in a long, long time, so I'm pleased with myself that I was able to do that without dying. But if this is your first time at Nioh, you will die many, many times to this boss, but I would just say just do it. Just work your way through it until, and if you start to get frustrated, you can always pass him and come back later and kill him. So in a way, it's meant to be like a shortcut, like if you're like a speedrunner or something like that. You can make the shortcut here, but we're not going to do that. We got to get all the Kodamas. So we're going to come back around over here, and our first Kodama, I played this game a couple times, is right here. So see this little fella? You want to guide them back to the shrine, and they begin to collect at the shrine. And if you notice in the lower right-hand corner where it says 3712, that's the amount of Amrita I have. That would be the equivalent of souls in Dark Souls or runes if you are playing Elden Ring. It's runes, right? Okay. Drop that. Okay. Here we got some gauntlets that are blue, so that's an upgrade. If you look in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see I have like a sword that says number 1. That means I have a skill point that I can spend here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is level up. So we are able now to do a Kodama blessing. So we're going to do that first before we forget. And what that is you get to select. Eventually you'll want the Oracle blessing because that gives you an increase in XP and Amrita, essentially, that you're getting. But we only have one little guy, so we're going to put that little guy on Healer Blessing, and that will increase Elixir drop rate. Elixir is your healing that you have in the lower left-hand corner. But before we use our point, let's go ahead and do this. So here is all of the different weapons and skills. So Samurai and Shiftling are going to be very important. Everybody uses these two. Then you have your weapon. So us is going to be Spear. Then this is Ninja skills, which we're going to have a couple of, and Magic skills over here, which we're going to have a couple of. But first is this. Now we are going to be using High Stance a lot. High Stance is much bigger damage, but it's slower. Low Stance is less damage and more defensive and faster. And then Mid Stance splits the difference. In Mid Stance, usually I use Mid Stance when I have multiple enemies. I use Low Stance when I'm facing something that has a lot of power, and then I use High Stance almost exclusively. But eventually you get to where you're swapping all the time between them. But Piercing Rain is the first skill that we're going to grab there. And as we grab skills, we'll have more, obviously, moves that we can do. So, let's go ahead and upgrade our levels. So again, okay, so we got heart up to 10 just right now, so good on us. So then we'll start pumping in Constitution. And the spear, if you notice, if I put over here and I go to, wait, do I have another one? Oh, I have two right here. Okay, good. So we want, oh, this is key pulse stuff. We want to be able to get full health from a key pulse, and maybe down here as well. The most key pulse that we can get, and then we'll get the middle one and expand from there. Because key is your gas tank, that's your power. But if we look on our weapon, here on our spear, and obviously I got all of these from the DLC stuff, but I'm just going to stick with this one and play it as if, or stick with this one and play it as if, you know, that's what I've got. But if you look on the Legion Spear over, God bless it, the skills are, or the buttons are a little bit different. So if we go to the spear and I go with this. So this gives us high attack damage, which is good because we do most of our attacks through high attack. So Legion Spear is good. And then this covers the scaling underneath. So it says base attack affects your attack power. The biggest scaling that we get is through Constitution, and then strength, and then skill. Skill and strength are equal. So we'll put a little bit in skill because that helps with the bow, and I think the rifle, if I remember. I'm not sure. And this is what makes your weapon hit harder. Now, the good thing about the spear is that Constitution in your character is what determines your health. So affects your life and your resistance to poison paralysis. But the reason we like this one is that your health increases quite a bit. So it helps your weapon hit harder, and it helps you have a bigger health pool. Because with spears, sometimes you get hit a bit. Heart affects your ki. So, so that's essentially our rationale. And so we have piercing ray now. So I'll show you piercing ray. So I'll start with this, and then piercing ray essentially gives a bunch of, if you don't get paralyzed. And if you're right up on the enemy, those won't all hit. So the spear, you have to learn a little bit about some distance and staying some distance. Did we get some gloves? We got some gloves earlier, didn't we? Cuirass. So we're medium. We're going to be medium armor for a while, so that's an upgrade for us. And then arm guards, thief gauntlets are light armor. You can tell. God, oh, that's so annoying. I just wish every game would do it the same way. Where was I? Was I in gauntlets? No. Yes. So if we come up here and we look at the defense portion, right next to that, you see there's one weight of the 3 that's filled in. So the Lone Wolf Greaves are medium armor. These Greaves, that would be light armor. And it's actually an upgrade, so we'll just put those on anyway, even though we're going to use medium armor for quite a bit in the game, for quite a while. So that's how that's going to work. You can do spear builds, of course, that are just pretty tanky. So you see with the heavy attack, it's much slower and uses a lot more ki. So I find that when I haven't played Nioh 2 for a while, the ki pulsing, I keep having to reinforce to myself. Use the ki pulse, rookie. Okay, we're going to come around this side. This guy too. Okay, we'll go to low stance. So you can see why ki is so important, because like when you're out of ki, you can't attack, and attacking is important. All right, so we got a yellow spear. Let's see. I'm going to not go by newest, but by level. So we got a newer spear. That's 52. We can compare. The spear we have on the right is the Legion spear with the high attack damage. This spear on the left will do some other bonuses, but not that much. Like Emerald Earn versus Human, low attack geek and something. Like these are okay, but they're not great. So we're going to keep with the high attack damage. So we're just going to keep the spear on board that we've got on board. Here's a chest. Okay, so we got some stuff. And you can just sit and check, or things an upgrade. Like, look at this. We have this Lone Wolf's hood on, which is 6 defense and some other stuff on the special effects portion. And this is an upgrade of a lot. So we're going to switch to this, plus defense of 8. So yeah, we want to switch to that one. Okay, and I think I have the game set to hide the helmet. You can... I wonder where that setting is. I think it's all the way over here in basic game settings. Yeah, so you can put the headgear on if you want. I prefer having it off just because a lot of the helms are really silly. So, knock yourself out. All right, here we're going to be coming to our first yokai. So, in some ways, this can be a little bit harder than the big guy, because he's got this big spear and it's a much smaller area to fight in. I'm gonna get my heal on here. And there's some things that you can't dodge, and so this ends up being a longer fight. And you have to be very conscious of one of the things with the spear is that is baloney. One of the things with the spear is the animation, especially in low stance. You can get locked into combos and you can't get out of the combos. So you just gotta take your time. You'll probably die here a lot if you have not played this game before. You can die here if you play this game a lot. So you can see my attacks aren't doing a lot of damage, but he's pretty fast, and I want to make sure that I have the ability to dodge out of it. Now, if you hit the horn, he won't die like that. It's not that easy, but you hit the horn, it puts him in a staggered state, and then you can go to town on them. So hitting the yokai horn is an important thing that you're able to do. But that comes with practice. So we're practicing. So let's just keep on going. There is a Kodama up here. That's easy to miss. So you saw in that fight, I switched from high stance, oops, gonna select the guy first, and I key pulsed into a mid stance at the same time. Now I'll go low stance and do my final blow. So switching stances is kind of a deal in this game. It makes the combat much more dynamic, and you start to get into the routine of hitting your stances and adjusting your stances. So instead of just like in, not that Elden Ring and Dark Souls are bad games, I think they're fantastic. They're among my favorites. But instead of just having a light stance and a light attack and a heavy attack, you've got a light attack, a heavy attack, and you've got 3 stances, and you've got different attacks that you can do based on button combinations that you hit in each one of those stances. So if I come back over here, let me come back over here where I can show and not get attacked. So if you look over here, and I'll go over to the spear, I picked up Piercing Rain as our first skill. Okay, now you can change it. You can turn it off, or you can keep that skill there, and eventually you'll have options for each one of these slots. So in a high stance, depending on what buttons you push, so here it's Y at the end of a combo, we'll do Piercing Rain, but then you'll get other skills in these other slots that you'll be able to fire off in high stance, and then mid stance, and then low stance, so that there's all kinds of combinations that you can do. It's not just a heavy attack and a light attack. So it's really, I mean, it's just really awesome because you are, in essence, as you play the game more and more and more, you get much better at using different skills in different scenarios. Okay, so now I've got 2, so I'm going to switch over to my mid stance. And there's a pretty good lunge with mid stance. You might notice that sometimes the opponent ends up on the ground with that red circle like that. That means they are out of key, and it will give you a finishing blow if you hit the Y key or the triangle key on the PS5. I'm playing, of course, on the computer, PC. Okay, we'll drop on this guy. There are plunge attacks in this game, which are great, as you just saw there. And then this can get a little bit tricky, but we're going to try to get this guy. Sometimes I miss that guy. There's another guy sleeping over there. Well, he's not really sleeping, but he's not paying attention either. And most of the time I get this guy involved in the action at the same time. Okay. So you'll see in the lower right hand corner there that our number 2549 is now yellow. That means we have enough for a level. line under his red line is his key line. So you can see like how much key he has of whether to press the attack or not press the attack. Now you see the 50s that are popping up off of me every time I collect Amrita. That's because I am in a certain clan, the Toyotomi clan, I believe, which gives you 50 little pulses of 50 every time you collect Amrita, which is really a nice thing to have. Okay, so we got enough for a level, so let's put it in Constitution because that's our main stat. And then there was something else. Oh, yeah. Okay, so our Kodama blessing, we got an Oracle blessing up here. So we want to switch from this one of Elixir drop rate up to Amrita, acquiring more Amrita. This is, I feel I need to pause and explain. This is the thinking man's Souls game. And it's not really a Souls game. I really shouldn't say that, but there's a lot of planning that goes into your character and your build, and there's a lot to learn, not just in terms of timings, but in terms of how you're going to confront the enemies. And skill swapping and all kinds of things, animation changing. All right, so we got another skill point. So let's put that on board. Spear Flourish is every time you do a key pulse in high stance, it will knock the enemy back. That's very good. But we're going to want Flying Monkey here because Rainbow Ruse is really a good skill to have. So let's get Flying Monkey, which essentially you can see the little video over on the left corner there. Like it launches you over the opponent. Like there's all kinds of killer moves in this game, and the spear is so fun. I think it's the most fun weapon in the game. All right, and they're all fun actually. Like I used to not think the axe would be fun because it's really slow, but I did the axe for a while, and it's actually quite fun. So all of them, and then they put like Brawler Stance in here, and Brawler Stance was great because it's you're just like punching people, and that is often fun. So this is where we fought the God, what the hell was that thing's name? I can't remember. The big horsey with horns. Is it a horsey or a bull? I think it was a bull. Bull with horns. That was in here, and we opened up this with the key. So you could have just come right in here, grabbed that, and then moved forward over here. But you know what? We didn't want to do it that way. We wanted to do the whole shebang. All right, so kick this down. I don't think you'll ever use that ladder, but you know, knock it down. Especially if you're not doing that other part. Because when we die now, if we die, we will end up at that shrine instead of the shrine that was way back at the beginning. And as always, when you rest at a shrine, all of the enemies reset in the area. That would be just like Elden Ring or Dark Souls. Okay, so you're another little dude. So make sure you grab him. And then we've got to get our range weapon. So part of our deal here is to get our range weapon. Okay, so there's two guys. So I'm going to go ahead, and we don't really have any skills for mid stance yet, but that's okay. We will be collecting them as we go along. Piercing Rain is pretty OP as it is, especially early game. Okay, so this guy's trying to give us the business here. So I kill him, and there is an archer who is up there who is trying to ruin our day. But we're not gonna let him, friends, because this Bridge Burner for 12, you're in the presence of excellence, as you've all come to appreciate. When a Bridge Burner video comes out, you know, excellence cannot be far behind. So we don't like getting plunked by that guy. I don't know if the other guy saw us. I hope not. So we're going to get our own bow. And here we go. Ranged weapon, longbow. And I would suggest, I want to come back and double check to make sure that I have it set properly. I think in the settings, it is under Basic game. No, I think it's under camera. Camera settings, yeah. So, yes. So, I put the aiming speed all the way down. Incidentally, I should have said this early on. This is not a game that you play with the mouse and keyboard. This game was never designed to be played with a mouse and keyboard. You can do it, though. It has settings for mouse and keyboard, but you got to play this game with a controller. So, and it's great. So, but you have to put the setting way down because you're not controlling your aim with a mouse. You're controlling aim with the thumbsticks. And many shooters are unplayable because the sensitivity of the thumbstick is so bad. It's way too intense. But it's kind of hard to see here. But what I'm looking for is to get the red dot in the middle there. And you can see you can't just duck back behind. So I was trying to show you the red dot. So what I'm doing here is I'm lining up slightly to the left so that when I step out, how is he going to shoot? So when I step out, I can just, end his day. Because otherwise, when we're fighting this guy, we're going to have to fight this guy with that guy up there giving us the old plunk-o-matic all the time. And we don't want that. Now, this guy with the axe he doesn't mess around. But the thing is he is, oh, that could have killed us. He uses all of his ki on that first attack, so you can get a big attack in there. Okay. All right, another guy here. And with Nioh, I found that when you're facing your weapon, sometimes it's the hardest weapon to face. Like every other weapon's easier than facing the weapon that you are using. Okay, so now we have the suicide sword. We won't need this. This will end a mission in the middle. But if you end the mission in the middle of the mission, you lose all of the stuff that you got in the mission, equipment-wise. So it's only to be used at the last resort. How many arrows do we have? I've got 4 arrows and 2 sacred arrows. It's over there on the right side next to my X button. So I can get rid of that guy. And come in here and grab this. No, I'm glad we're online because essentially this is people who are playing the game. I think this one is just here. I think this is an NPC enemy, but if you die somewhere, it will put one of these red swords in the ground. And that means there was a player there who died. And you can hover over that player and it will show you the quality of the gear that he has, this is garbage. It's white and yellow. We would want blue or purple. And he's playing with hatchets. So it gives you an opportunity to call. You can call the Revenant, and it will bring the person's, not the actual person, but his character into the game. Okay, so, and I'm letting my ki build back up and using my big ol' attack. So then when you beat them, you can get an Ochoko Cup, and an Ochoko Cup allows you to call in help if you want to, or you can, and it gives you a piece of their gear that they have. So sometimes what happens is you'll be farming for a particular gear set, and you'll come across one of those that has the gear set you're looking for. And then you can just essentially call the person or, and then go back to a shrine and then come back to that person, call the person, go back to the shrine, and just basically do it over and over and over to get all the equipment. But we're a long way. We're a long way from having to do that. Okay, so now we'll climb up here and get our shortcut. God, I love this game. It's so fun. It is just so fun. And it doesn't matter how many times you go through it. It has incredible replayability in the sense of, you can go through with one build and then you can change everything, go through with another build. You can continue going into New Game Plus. I'm not a big fan of New Game Plus. My fun in a game like this is always starting at terrible and then getting better as it goes. I'm a little disappointed that didn't kill him outright, but this one will do the trick. And we'll come and get our stuff over here. So if you were speed running, you would have come through the gate over there from the cemetery and just started going this way through the game. But we're not speed running. We're enjoying the game. We want to play the game the way the game was intended. And we're going to kill that guy eventually over there. Don't worry. He will be deaded. Now, I've tried a million times getting this guy from the top in a plunge attack, and it never happens. So you might as well just come from this side. Oh, I tried to go down the ladder. It didn't work. But he's another one of those guys with the axe, and it is a really big deal. So we want to not... not take him lightly at all. Come up and grab this. Now, as opposed to the red ones, there are these blues that show up, and you'll be able to place your own blues as you go through. That will be it will be you and whatever equipment you have at that particular time. And someone can come through and they can activate your revenant to come up and be a partner as you play through. And this is how you would do multiplayer. If you have a friend that's going to play, you just essentially have them set down their ghost, and then you call them into the game. Did he die? Yes. You call them into your game. And you don't have to know anybody. You can just pull in the blues wherever. It just costs you 2 Choco Cups. Or the better the characters build, the more Choco Cups. And I think it goes up to 4. It goes from, I think, 1 to 4. I think it's 1 to 4. I don't think it's 2 to 4. Alright, so we're going to open the chest. And what we get? We got a Scout Cuirass. I can't remember if the Scout Cuirass is middle. Let's look. Oh, it's light, but it's definitely a big upgrade. It's purple. It gives us defense and toughness. The Nioh power doesn't mean anything to us now because that's not our deal. This we would need more stamina to use. That's why the stamina is right at the bottom on the heirloom helmet. Foot soldier's hat is definitely a downgrade. Irregular troop gauntlets. Yeah, those are an improvement. Well, we'll just put that on. Why not? And then foot soldier. There we go. That's better. And then, yeah, that's better too. So we'll put those on. And we got some accessories now that we can use. Oh, so we got an oh, that's the one that we got from the thing. So I don't want to use these. A gourd gives us poison resistance. So let's put that on for our first accessory. That one for our second accessory. So you can see that they're down here. And then I don't think we need to put anything over there for just now. We did get a better longbow as well. So let's put that better longbow on at 70. Yeah, that's a lot better. So we'll put that on. Spear-wise, do we get a better spear? Uchi Katana is better. I don't think we got a better spear. The Demon Horde, of course, was from the DLC. So I think we're staying with the spear that we have, which is kind of trash. But you know what? We're killing stuff, so we can't complain about that too much. All right, I know this episode's a little bit on the longer side, but it's the first episode, so we want to get all the way through it. So we'll see how long it takes. There is a little Kodama dude here that I always forget about. And there's another one behind this building that I always forget about. You can't get it from this side. You got to go around. Now here is a yokai cloud, or a yoki cloud. When you're in the cloud, a beast will come out of it. And then they will drop little yokai clouds all over the place. And eventually what we're going to want to do in our skills area, in our shiftling, is we're going to want some of these skills so that we can keep our key. Because when you're in the dark zone, your key does not regen as quickly, and it has more of a thing. So we're going to actually get this one and then this one filled up is what we're going to want. So that takes a little while. So now the gate is right around the corner over there. That'll get us to the shrine. So if this is, you know, if you're just starting, activate the cloud and run all the way over here. And then just run past him and get over to the gate and see if you can get the gate open. He'll run after you. And so that you have the shortcut. In case you die, you can come and face him from the shortcut. So now when you key pulse, it will clear the yokai cloud. And in Piercing Rain, you cannot stop that animation. So you're stuck with all of the attacks. So you got to have some space. So I got the horn right there. So it hurt him quite a bit, and then he got mad and punched me in the face. So I'm going to hit once and clear the cloud, and then I'm going to try to get out of this doorway, back up over here. So you can see he's quite hefty. He's not like the other noobs that we were facing earlier. So it's going to hit all of those. Oh, I didn't have enough key. Okay. Clear the cloud. Uh-oh. See, I knew I was going to get hit because I hit my Piercing Rain animation. Oh, boy. I hit my Piercing Rain animation. And it... Why won't I eat? There we go. And I got stuck because Piercing Rain hit something like 5 times. Okay. So another nice thing about the spear... Oh, we got a Blue Legion spear. That's going to be quite an upgrade, I think. Yeah, that's quite an upgrade. From 87 to 111. High attack damage. Mid-attack key consumption when we're mid-attack. And our block is better. And our base attack goes up to 75. So that's all that. That's a sweet upgrade. So we'll take that. I don't think there was anything... You know, that Udachi is not what we're using. So that once you clear the clouds, they won't come back. So I'm going to talk to this guy. He's going to be very upset with us. Ah! He's going to tell us, oh, go away, go away. So he's going to give me lantern plant fruit, which is great. And I'll explain what that is a little bit later. But let's get a level here again. Somehow I dropped offline again. Let's put 8. What's going on where I live? Let me go back in here. And the problem is that you can only go online in the when you're in that shrine. Okay, so we got another skill point and to samurai. So we got this one, we got this one. So let's go ahead and get the key pulse for man, and then we can start exploring these other things as we go along. And let's advance. We're almost to the boss of this first level. The levels in Nioh 2 can be very long, and this is not long. This level. This is like, I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of length of level. This one is probably a 4, a 3, or a 4. No, you can... We'll wait for this guy to stop talking about his nightmare ending. If you listen, hear that whip, 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 whip. when you hear that, that means there's one of these guys near you. Eventually, you want to get a Kodama sensor, and I'll put that on right now just for just to show what it does, and then I'll take it off. Kodama sensor will, in your radar up there at the top, you see where my arrow is on the upper right corner. It's pointing to the green there. That green dot is a Kodama. So the Kodama sensor helps you find the Kodamas in a particular level. So when I take it out, if I take that off, you see the dot has disappeared. So you want something with Kodama sensor, and it might take you quite a while to get it, which will just make you appreciate the Kodama sensor more when you get it, because you never want to leave a level without getting all the Kodamas, because if you beat the boss at the end of the level, you can't go back and find all the Kodamas. They do not become available to you. So the Kodama that showed up is right there. You see the little green behind this thing? But we've got another dude with an axe, but we're going to go ahead and grab this guy while we have it. There's also another guy hiding back here. So, you know, once you get confident, you can start to face more than one opponent at a time. Okay, so this guy's seeing me. A little too close to him for the spear, but... So now here's Axeman. A little too close to him. And you can see in the upper right-hand corner, when I key pulse properly, I get a damage boost for a very brief while. So once you start to get comfortable with your weapon and you're key pulsing appropriately and you're facing enemy after enemy, you eventually will start to key pulse and make your weapon hit harder after you defeat every enemy. Okay, so this little guy is a Scampus. He's a little kitty, and he will help build up my Amrita gauge, which is, or my anima gauge. All right, we are in the dark zone now, so our ki will recover much more slowly, and we are not able to pray at the shrine because it's defiled. So we got to find the spirit that is responsible for the dark zone. And little kitty will come here and interrupt and help us a little bit while this guy's throwing rocks at us. But see how out of key we are? See how slow it is to rebuild? That's the green line. It's now bright red because I'm out of key. Okay, kill him. Grab that. And there's an herbal remedy over here. That there's a guy right down below us. And I don't know if you can plunge attack that guy. I've tried, I always try, and I don't seem to ever be able to do it. So an herbal remedy is a great elixir. It's like it fills you all the way up. So eventually your elixirs aren't going to fill your whole health gauge. Okay, so we've cleared out. You see how we're still in the dark zone? That means we have not found the spirit that's in charge of the dark zone. And our little kitty is leaving us as well. So it's this guy. And you know that this is the person in charge of the dark zone, causing the dark zone, because you see the little flowers that are under his body there that are sprouting up. That's the indicator. He's also the last guy in the area. So we're going to go low stance, because if we go high stance, we're going to be out of key all the time. So the problem is going to be negotiating, and I always bring him out here, is going to be negotiating, because they don't slow down. Yeah, see, it's going to be negotiating the dodging. So I might actually go to mid stance, actually. That's probably a better call. So there's our first death. This is not a game that you do deathless runs on. It just is not, yeah, it's, good luck if that's going to be your approach. Okay, so we got to clear this crap out again. Now, all all of our Amrita is sitting there waiting for us. So we have to get that back. So we're going to come and we're going to try to clear this stuff out as fast as we can. Okay, so we got another proficiency point with the spear. The spear does a lot of key damage, which is really good. So we want to always be utilizing the key damage. Okay, and let's go ahead and see about getting a point here. Full pull. What do we want to put on here? Spear shove, we don't need that just yet. Spear flourish, let's go ahead and get that on board because that's always a good one to have. And we get going here. And we're back in the dark zone again because that's the way it works. I didn't see if the kitty was there. But this is our stuff, so you touch that. And one of the good things about the boss fights is unlike Dark Souls, where you have to run and pick it up. In the boss fight, and we're not in a boss fight, in a boss fight you don't have to go, it just automatically comes out and gets you, which is great. Alright, there's another little guy over here who will corrupt our business. We're gonna get rid of him. Nothing worse than trying to fight that big guy in there. With the little guy attacking you. Alright, so here we go. Let's try again. Let our key build right back up. Do we have any... I wonder if we have any water. Yes, we do have sacred water. Okay, so sacred water. Let's put some sacred water on board for this fight. I'll put it at the top. I go by type here. Because that will help your key regenerate faster. So we'll go mid stance, go with some sacred water, which will help our key. And we don't really have a high attack. Oh no. Oh no. God bless it. We don't really have a high attack that does the trick for us. Eventually we'll get a high attack that will break their horn, which makes it much easier. So here I'm just gonna... I wonder how far I can run in here. What if I can just kind of run and get in the dark zone and see if these guys don't follow me. I wonder if they'll come in here. I guess they don't come in here. Now, if you're struggling in this area, because this is technically, and I remember when I started playing Nioh 2, I was so annoyed by these dark zones. I thought, this is cheatery kind of crap. But you can make yourself be stronger in here, and they're actually great. They add a lot of dimension to the game. So up in the upper left-hand corner, you can see it says 100. That is our spirit, and we'll be able to attack. We'll be able to attack with that. In fact, let's just put it right here and just see how much damage we can do. Here I got the horn. Usually I try to save the spirit attack for the boss, but we're gonna reload, so there's no reason not to use that here. But eventually, that's the key that we need. Eventually, and now we can loot this chest as well. But eventually, you'll want to be using your spirit attacks more judiciously, converting yourself into spirit form. So as I often say, I am not a great player. I am a confident and competent player. We don't need to make any offerings or anything at the bazaar. Oh, it wants me to at least look. So you can go to the Kodama Bazaar and you can buy things here for certain amounts of money that you have in terms of the amount of, what do they call it, like rice or something. But you know, I really never use that. But let's upgrade our character here. It's like 1,000 degrees in my house right now. I don't know what is going on, if the heater is on or something. I don't know why everyone is always cold in my house. It's so terrible. All right. Okay, so now we're ready to go. There's a Kodama in here, and I'm hoping that it will say, you got all of this mission's Kodamas. Or if I forgot one, yay, all of these missions Kodama spirits have been guided to the shrines. It says they're on the left. Okay, now we're ready for our first boss. And he's a horse with a sword. So let's get in there and get after it. Oh, my dog has come up to bother me right at this moment. That kind of skippiness as the camera's panning, that's in the game. That's not avoidable. Yes, he is unpleasant. But the mountain to the left of us is Amrita, and he's going to hit that, and we're going to fill up our Amrita gauge. That did not work. I need attacks. I need more attacks. I need more attacks. So you can see our Amrita gauge filled up there. Okay, so I blocked him, which allows me to get some hits in. Oh, I'm in the cloud. So see, I was in that cloud and it prevented me, this cloud on the ground, prevented me from refilling my Amrita. I'm not sure why that didn't work. Oh no, I'm dead. Yeah, we're at the point now with the spear. Like if you have, let's say you go dual swords, this is like no problem. You just go and slice and dice them because you can move so quickly. But the spear is a dance, and it's not. It takes a bit before you get all the skills that you're going to want to be able to use. But we're going to have all 100 of our Amrita for our spirit, but we have to use it. You know, like we can't just use it. But we're going to use it here to start with, and just get our hits in. I didn't know he could do that in the dark zone, but okay. Or when I was in spirit mode. Okay, so now he's going to hit this. And we're going to collect all the Amrita and get back to... Oh, no, we only got to 11. This is going to be a tough one. Okay, so so when his gauge on the bottom is red, you get, it always works out that every time I look at the bottom, something bad happens. Horse with a sword really isn't that hard. I'm used to just coming in and having a different weapon, so I'm just getting my timings back about me and just, you know, being patient. And I don't have a lot of my skills on board, so that also is a problem. I think I need to stay almost exclusively in mid-stance. Even though I don't have any skills in mid-stance yet, I gotta use my blocking. Okay, so now I have 100. So I'm hitting my burst counter too early. There we go. Clear the cloud. I tried to kick me. We'll want for a little bit here. So I did pretty good amount of damage here. But now we are in the dark zone. So key is going to be an issue. That burst counter was on point. Get wrecked. Here we're going to meet our buddy.
もう少しであやかしになっちまうとこだ。
Alright, we got some stuff. Ooh, we got a purple spear. That's good. We got a soul core. We'll talk about those in our next adventure. Let's just take a look here at the spear that we got. Sickle spear, yes, quite an upgrade. 86 mid-guard gear, final blow damage. We don't have the high attack damage. That's okay. So we'll switch over to the purple, of course. So as we go down here, yeah, that's good. That's good. Nightshade Mist. Do we get any armor? That's an improvement. Not in the helm area. Foot Soldier's Cuirass. Nope, that's not better. Night Raider Gauntlets. We need some strength for those. We'll probably do that at some point. Scout Gauntlets, untouched ammo. Yeah, probably. Night Raider Waistguard. Oh, we need strength. So we're going to put a point in strength so that we can use this stuff. What was the other strength one? There's another thing that requires some strength. This thing. Oh, that was stamina. We're not going to put in stamina. Strength also helps our weapon, if you recall. Leg guards, foot guards. Ronan Greaves. That's strength as well. Melee key consumption, critical, projectile damage, dash. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Oh, Rosie P is shaking. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. So he wants. Yeah, hurry up. He's telling me. Okay.
こっちに来てくれよ。待ってたぞ。あの船。
Remember that letter we got in the very first cutscene?
俺は藤吉郎。お前の名は？秀か。よし。じゃあ秀の字な。呼びやすいだろ。知恵を頼りに霊石を売り歩く俺にはいつしか猿が取り付いた。お前はあやかしを倒すあやかしだけど宿っている魂は紛れもなく人だ。俺たちはきっといい相棒になれるはず。ゲーセンだとか汎用だとかそんな世評は笑い飛ばせ。一緒になりやがってでっかい夢を見てやろう。
So we are part yokai. That's our yokai shift skills that we used on the horse with the sword there. And then as we proceed through the game, my guy kind of looks rough. Like his complexion, he does not look healthy. I didn't notice that.
しかしすっげえな。あんなごついの。で、喋れないのはなんかわけが。あ、すまん。ま、いろいろあるわね。
And here we are. Nioh 2. I love this game. Gives me the nostalgia as well. It's only like 4 years old. It's not that old. But I have played it a lot. So let's go to the shrine, and essentially the mission map is what's going to show up now after we complete this one. Hello, load screen. There we go. So what'll happen is, okay, so we'll grab all that stuff. Grab that stuff. Grab that stuff. Wait, what happened? Oh, another cutscene.
俺の集めてる霊石には大きな力があったな。異国じゃアムリタとも呼ばれ、国の戦を決めちまうほどなんだとか。今や日の本は力がものを言う戦乱の世。戦のたびにこいつが飛ぶように売れるってわけよ。だがこのご時世、あやかしや野党がおって命がいくつあってもだな。そこで腕っぷしの立つお前みたいなやつを探してたってわけだ。まずは俺が上得意にしてるお客に会いに行こう。付き合ってくれるだろ、秀の字。
Okay, so we're partners with this guy now. And the red signs here are main missions. So we just did that one, so that's why there's a check on it. Then there are submissions, which are the black ribbons down here, the black parchments down here. And so the next main mission is this one. But this you'll see is recommended level 9. That's recommended level 10. I always go in order. I don't know if that's the best way to do it or not. It's just the way my brain works. So let's go to the shrine because we have enough to elevate ourselves another point here. So let's put that in Constitution. Oh, I was going to put it in Strength. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I forget stuff all the time. So the dojo gives you different trainings that you can do. Torii Gate we don't need to worry about. We'll just go on this just to say that we did it. The hut I don't worry about because there's all of these kinds of things. So to remodel the hut, we can change, you know, the person that visits us to the monster, the monkey. We're going to keep our fish for right now. There's something else I wanted to do. I think this is probably a good place to end our first episode. Oh, there was something. Sorry. We want to, where is it? In our guardian spirit. Oh, we can change our guardian spirit. But we don't have the ability yet, I guess, to change or to put in our thing. There's also a training section that you'll be able to use at some point, but we don't have that. We don't really need that at this point, but it's a good place to finish up for this level. It's been a long episode, good 90-minute chunk to get things started. I'm really looking forward to playing a lot more of this game. It's my favorite game, like, of all time. And I've played a lot of games, and this one I always come back to because it is so fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to the Samurai Kingdom of the Sengoku period, the Sengoku Jedi, and we will be continuing our adventures as Bridge Burner 412 plays Nioh 2.